Hello everybody, welcome to the Solstice. It's peak of winter, so this is the shortest day and the longest night, right in the middle of English winter, and from here on out over the next 2 months, living in the bush is just going to get harder and harder, so we're going to have a look around today and see what's here right in the peak. Hopefully there'll be enough to see us all the way through. First thing I noticed, bramble leaves. Bramble leaves are very, very tasty and very, very nutritious. Easy to identify, easy to eat. Like this. They do have some wee thorns on, but that's okay. So, there's some willow herb over there, rosebay willow herb. That's this one. There's some fluff on there from the seed heads. You can open it up and get some cord. There's some rosehip. They can be eaten just like this. There's a weevil in that one. See that? These can be eaten just like this, but it's best to scrape the hairs out from inside. There's some thistles over there, which I'm sure you'll recognise. Sorry about the sun. There's some thistles over there, which are they contain some fluff, so you can start your fires. There's some hawthorn berries, which you'll know from the other video, but they're not many, but nonetheless you can eat them raw anyway. And that's all within a few feet there, just about 30-40 feet, so that's not a bad start, hey. There's another thistly, this is another variation of the thistle. It's actually green, which is good. It means it's edible straight away, which is very nice. La 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 la. Right, what have we down here? This is, yep, that's the bristly ox tongue. So I'm surprised that's still around, but it's a hardy green, and that's edible just as it is. And very tasty it is too. God, that is actually very nice. Alright, down here we have some clover. Now you have to be careful with clover, you'll all recognise it, but you have to be careful with it because some people can be allergic, and I'm actually one of those ones who is. I get like a tightness, a small closing in the throat, which is no good. There's another thistle, edible just as it is, with a root as well at this time of year, so there's some carbohydrate. Oh, you can also use the pith of the willow herb, the inner bit, and scrape that up, put it in your stews. You can just eat it straight, but it serves as a nice thickener or a basic flour. Some more rose hips there, they're in top condition. They're going to be there for the next 2 months. There's a little animal in there somewhere. La 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 la. What have we here? Don't know what that is. It's an old dead plant. Right, let's have a quick look at tracks. I see lots of people tracks. There's a dog track. There's another dog track, I believe. Let's have a look at this track here. We have one print there. You see it? One print there, one there, one there, one there. And the main pad there. It's running in a curve. And if you look carefully, you can see the extended claw mark, which is still there. So, as there's a bit of a push coming from this side, where the track has been slanted, I presume the dog came round this corner, a little bit of a hurry, and just skidded a tiny little bit. Yes. If we can work out where the other tracks are, we can actually find out how big the dog was. It's not the largest of pads. Now, this is an interesting one. I'm not sure if that's a deer track or just a partial dog. No, I think that's a partial dog. And here we have a hare. See that? That's a white hare. Sorry, I just dropped it. It's a white hare. Sorry, I guess that's possible actually. That could be a badger track. But because I know there's badgers around here. So we'll just have to have a look and keep on having our eyes open. There's loads of brambles. Absolutely tons of green there. Loads and loads of brambles. So you're still going to get plenty of vitamins. There's loads of bristly ox tongue. Absolutely tons. Loads of vitamins here. Loads of vitamins. Good, good, good. More clover. The oak. Most of the acorns are gone though, if not all of them. It wasn't me. It's the squirrels. So, if we have a look around, we're likely to find acorns that have been cracked open. Let's have a quick look. I'll look and I'll get back to you in a second. Now, this may just look like half an acorn shell. That could happen in a million ways, but no, it's actually quite specific how these things can happen. This is most likely a squirrel. Squirrel comes in with its big old gob compared to this and cracks it so expertly it snaps it right open, right in half. And this is the ones that they're eating. I suppose if you were really desperate you could dig up some of the ones they've buried. But this is a way to identify if there's been squirrels around, because the nuts are so perfectly cracked open in half, which is their most favourite way to do it. Okay, carry on looking. Let you know when I find something else. Okay, we have here colt's foot, which it's all this stuff apart from the occasional bristly ox tongue, like that one, the rose hip and the thistle and that. They're all past their primes, but this is still edible. You can eat it just like this. You can actually dry it out and smoke it like a tobacco alternative, for those who use smoke, and it's nonetheless it's very tasty. You can put it in sandwiches and things. Not in the bush. You ain't going to make a bush sandwich in a hurry, are you? Right. Just a little comment on the weather. Oh, there's a pigeon. There goes lunch. Just a little comment on the weather. There's two more. Fucker. Right. A little comment on the weather. Very, very, very warm. Extremely mild. So that's been very helpful. If there'd been a lot more frost or ice, which we didn't get much of around this part. I know in other parts of England you did get a lot, but around this part we didn't get much, and if there'd been more, a couple more of these would have been degraded, like the colts that probably would have degraded away properly. But you know, we'll have to see just how the weather affects. Right, I've just seen some poo over there. I'm going to expect that. It's just doggy poo. Not a very healthy one at that. But there's some clematis fluff, perfect for starting fires. You have to watch out for the seeds. You heat up the seeds, they pop, and they have lots of hot oil in, and well, just frankly it's not very nice at all, and you can get it all over your hands, all over your face. Nasty, burning oil. But still, if you've got to start a fire, you've got to start a fire. In fact, I'm going to take some with me so I can start mine later. Now, here's an interesting one that I need to do a bit more research on myself, but just for interest, this, I think, is a Sphagnum moss, which is, well, just look it up. But I'm going to do more research into that, because we don't get much of it around here in Essex, because we don't get a great deal of water. But they are around, or at least we don't get, specifically where I am, we don't get a great deal of water. But we'll look around, and I need to do more research on that. So if anyone can help me with Sphagnum moss in Essex, thank you. Right, I think we have a muntjac track here. See this? It's a pretty straightforward, easy to recognise track. And I just had a little further look up. Go up here, past the rabbit poo, to here, there's another track there. Past more rabbit poo, up here, where it's turned slightly. So I would think about looking up the path, I would think about looking off over to the left there. But anyway, there's tracks, deer, rabbits, there's another one. There's a bank over there, maybe a bit of an optical illusion on the camera, but there's a bank there perfect for looking for rabbits, setting up traps. Okay, here on the floor we have some crab apples. They're in not very good condition, but still they're preserved, a lot of them. Worth digging around for, and you can use these as bait for traps, for squirrels, for pigeons, and a couple of other animals that eat them. I believe badgers eat them too. If you set them up in the right place you'll get one. Yeah, good trap bait. Let's have a look around for something else. We're in the woodland now, as you can see. So I'm just going to have a look around, see what's growing in the woodland. Shut up over there. Cool, don't they know I'm filming? Okay, when they're looking in the woods for things to do and to use, first thing you've got to notice is the amount of dead wood, which is everywhere of course. A lot of this is still green, but you'd have to do some checks to see what is and what isn't. But the forest floor, the woodland floor. It's just covered with leaf debris. So you can use that for insulation, for bedding, for covering a shelter, for all types of things. And the first things that stick out, of course, are usually just that. Right, carry on looking. Here's some stone tucked away here for when I come down and do some flint napping. This is from previous journeys. There's always flint around, and I dug most of that up. Well, when you're around here, there's always flint around. I dug most of that out of here, but also got it from the fields around. Great place to look for flint. Loads of it right there. Right, here we have an interesting one you'll all know. This is here all the way through the winter. Plenty of vitamins. Ilex aquifolium, the holly. Oh, actually, I'm not sure if the aquifolium has a white line on it or not, but or a yellow line. But I'll tell you what though, this is just the same. All the ilex can be used in the same way, I believe. And you dry them, very, very hot. Crush them, and you can turn them into a tea with quite a lot of caffeine in. But don't drink too much, as it will make you sick. So I guess if you're looking to purge yourself from some disease or something, you could do it, but otherwise be gentle. Don't make it too strong. Ilex aquifolium, I believe, the holly. Okay, this is quite a surprise. This is elder. I guess this is because it's been not too cold, and this is right in the woodland. It's quite well protected from the wind coming from the field over there. So this is elder leaves, and they can be eaten just as they are. You can scrape out and use the pith for all types of things, like lighting fires and whatnot. And it makes great hand drills as well. So, very useful. And in the wood, they're generally not too strong, and plenty of dead bits on them. Fantastic. That tiny young baby little come out on a warm day. That'll be so delicious. I'm not going to eat it now, I'll leave it to somebody else, but that'll be so delicious. Lunch. Oh, look at this. Look at the size of this nettle. Have a look at my nettle cordage video, and these young sprouts here are very, very edible and very, very rich. They're good for proteins, fats, vitamins, iron, lots of things. And cordage. Just what a wonder plant. And I've heard some people have used these things to cure or to help alleviate the pain of arthritis, etc. But I don't have any, so I'm not going to do that. Just having a look here at these holes. This one looks used. This one, I doubt it. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if that was started and they ran off to hide down this one. So it looks like they may be extending. Maybe they, maybe this is a new burrow. I don't recognise it, and they're digging out ready. There's an escape route there, worth knowing if you're trapping. Okay.
So, happy Solstice and festival and all that.
We've just been joined by Neil.
Today have arrived with a fire starting kit.
Isn't that funny? I talked about that a minute ago.
That's yet to start a single fire. Because it's proving more difficult than I imagined. But I might have a go today. As it's Solstice, I'm wondering if the gods will shine upon us. So yeah, we're gonna give that a go.
Okay, great. It's good to see we've got company in the woodland now. Always nice. Okay, we've just seen a very interesting thing. This is a very, very high broken elder leaf, and if we inspect here, sorry, I don't know if that's in focus or not, but if we inspect here, you'll see the browning and drying of the end here, which means it's probably been dead for a couple of days. But there's also a path leading through these nettles here, and it's, you know what it might be? If it's not a person, it might be the antlers of a deer. May have caught that, but that's a bit of a leap, so I don't know quite what's going on. There's a ladybird there, you see it? Yeah, okay. Neil spotted a couple of deer prints, which is good. So it was definitely a deer, I think. It's come up round side of this tree here. And if I look down here, yeah, there's some scraping here along the edge of this bark where it's rubbed against it. Yep, that was a deer. And a big bugger too. That was as tall as my head. Wow. Let's go and have a look at the shelter. This is our lovely shelter that we built and has been standing for well over a year now. Looking a bit threadbare because we haven't touched it up. Is anyone living in there? No, there's a hole right down the bottom. Okay, this needs to be touched up if we're going to use it, but nonetheless it's actually still looking pretty good. And I mean, most of it is still there. There's a mushroom growing there, see it? Lovely, lovely mushroom. So most of it is still okay, but it's looking like it's definitely in need of a touch up. You can see the colour difference here from the wind and the rain, because the winter has come in, dried out that side, because the sun's over there of course, and I believe south, west, south, so that'll be the area that gets most sun. And funnily enough, that's the wettest looking side. This, though you may not believe it, is the area that I've shown you before on videos where the fire is. And if I just kick this away, there you go, there's all the ash and burnt bits of wood from previous fires. So there's no excuse for leaving an untidy place. No excuse. Right, this was just like this. This is perfect squirrel bait. And if I'm not mistaken, they've already taken a nibble out of it. So I'd put that up in a tree, let that dry, put it on a figure 4, dead. Dinner. Lovely. Now, this is a real winner. This is the Gigantica Lepidoptera, I believe. Lepidoptera might be a bird, I'm not sure about that. But anyway, it's an edible for humans and for squirrels. Makes fantastic squirrel bait and works delicious fried and stewed. There's some old ones over there. So these old ones here are much more akin to the proper size. And they do get even bigger as well. But yes, you can see there's plenty of flesh there. Yummy. Good old water. Always something nice around the water, but no greens at this time of year. So there's some willow over there if you need for your friction fires, and a little bit of cordage I suppose, even though it doesn't give up too much at this time of year. But nonetheless, drinking water if you boil it, which I have. This is actually a great place for a squirrel run, and if you put snare lines all across there in the classic squirrel trap, that's a great one. Put bait all up it. It's a beautiful colour mushroom that, I don't know what it is though. Yeah. This is a very strange mushroom, this one. Don't know quite what it is. Don't know if it's edible or not. But yeah. We are entering pine territory. Lots of pines. There's a pigeon as well. So we'll talk about the pines in a minute. Okay, this is from earlier in the year. I think it was about springtime, wasn't it? Yeah. It's about springtime when we tried to harvest some sap, and we didn't get much out of it, but nonetheless there's still plenty here. And this is very, very edible. You can make it into glue. It's a good antibiotic for putting on cuts, things like that. And it's very good. This doesn't do the tree any harm, this. If you cut all the way round, that's when you destroy it. But anyway, this is actually a good example here because we have some green. You can identify pine needles. They have loads of vitamin C, as well as being edible just as they are. You can just pop them in some tea. Underneath the branches is the cambium layer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the cambium layer is a very thin layer just underneath the branch, just underneath the bark, like a skin, and that's edible, and that's mainly what the deer eat when it comes to winter. But we can eat it too, and it's a good famine food. It really is very tasty. Okay. Oh, and you get pine nuts from the cones.
I don't know if I'd call it tasty.
Oh, I think it's lovely.
But it's got some, it tastes antibacterial. You know.
Hello! I'm in the wood! There's another fantastic mushroom. It looks dangerous though, beautiful colour. Don't know what it is, no idea. But it's right next to this. On this pine is, see that? That's a fresh, first generation woodpecker hole there. And up above it, there's loads more from previous generations. No, there's about 6 there. 5. Brilliant. All the way up to the top of the pine. Not much you can do with the woodpecker. Great to know they're around though. Here's another mushroom spotted by Neil, and it's a very good spot actually. You can see it's purple. Blends in very, very well. Again, that looks dangerous, but it might be nice. There's some puffballs here. Past the best, but nonetheless very good. So I'll just help those along with it. Lovely. This is the mature juice here, for want of a better name, and it's absolutely delicious. Put on a skewer. Beautiful. This is growing on.
It's not against,
this is growing on some elder.
It's not about Jews.
No.
No, it's about Judas.
Is it?
It's Judas's ear.
Ah.
Because he hanged himself, by legend says it, on an elder tree, and you'll often find them on an elder tree. It's not racist.
Right. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay. That's good. Look at all these apples. Big ones too. So they're not quite crabs, but they're not your normal eaters. And they go right over beyond where Neil is, and right over here and beyond that tree over there. And it's come from this guy. Look at the size of this apple tree. Unbelievable. How old do you reckon that is now?
Well, it's hard to say because there's 3 sort of stems.
Right.
But it's probably the most interesting tree in this wood, to be honest.
I'd say it's at least 50 years old, wouldn't you?
Oh, at least.
Yeah.
I'd be thinking closer to 100.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's go 75, eh? 85. Brilliant. Anyway, there's lots of good ones here, and serve great as bait, and you can roast them over the fire, cook them in stew. Lovely. They're everywhere. Oh, looks like a good one. I'll just try that. Yeah. Oh, it's lovely. Right, here we have an area where...
Lovely bit of chalk there.
Yeah. This is a result of badgers, I believe. And we've dug up all this area. It's a great place to look for flint and for chalk. And chalk is one of the ones we can actually cook with around here. But it's a bit hard to come by, so you need quite a lot of it. Or come by in any decent size. This is a mature clematis, and it's the woodsman's friend. I'll do a whole video on it one day. I believe Sean Mulhall did one, so you might want to have a look at his. But I'll do my own soon. Lovely. Okay, here we have one of the most special things you can do, and this is available all year round, but for this time of year it's a real lifesaver. This is it Goldinia or Doldinia?
Doldinia.
Doldinia concentrica, and it's a fire lighter, and these are worth taking with you, just having in your pouch. And here's one that we picked earlier. If you break it open, see the concentric rings there? This provides a wonderful base for lighting fires with, and it catches with a spark or with a friction fire ember, which is hopefully what we'll be using today. But I don't know if we'll get enough time because we're running out of light. Okay. on, son. Try again. Still hands feel okay?
Well, let's have a look at it. Have we got black?
No, not yet.
Yeah,
Just do this 1 minute. It's getting stuck. It's getting really hot. Yeah. Yeah, you can feel it sticking. Sticky. Just hold it. Okay, the camera. Well, a damn good effort. Look how much punk we got. Let me show them on this. Look how much punk we got. Absolutely loads. Just the wrong colour.
Could do with some advice on that one.
Yeah, I think it just takes practice, mate. Oh. Still, worth a try. I mean, just look how much punk we got. Absolutely loads. All that. And we got smoke. Okay. I'll try that some more, shall we? So, here we are. The sun's about to go down on the shortest day. I've shown you basically all the edibles and things that you might need. What I didn't show you is any type of flour. So if you're not prepared with oak flour and you haven't dried your fruit leathers to get vitamins, there is one alternative. Saying that, actually, you do pretty much need to dry fruit, but there is pines, as I said, and rose hips, and they'll be on the available all year round. But the only type of flour we can get is that stuff out in the middle of the lake there, the middle of the pond, and that's your reed, your cattail. And I'll do a one day I might do a video on it, but see, out in the middle of the water there, I'd actually have to swim out to get that, but the root gives you all the carbohydrates you could want. So in other words, I've shown you today how to get every single bit of nutritional dietary requirement you could need, including the oils from nuts, which is one of the hardest things to get. But essentially, this is not a time to be afraid, it's a time to be careful and to be full of knowledge, because that's how you're going to get by. And when it comes to bushcraft, that's what it's about. So, have a happy solstice, everyone. Try not to let the wolves get you, and try not to let the wolves get you at night. And